Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-January 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past, present, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards with some additional insight as well. And that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person. So if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that away, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Seven of Arrows. So this is actually Aquarius energy here. And usually with Seven of Arrows, Seven of Swords energy, the person who looks like they're carrying away the arrows or the swords looks like they're happy to be getting away with something, right? But in this deck, it always stands out to me if we look at her facial expression, she doesn't look too happy at all, right? So for some of you, this could just be saying that you might have been carrying a bit of a weight around the connection. For some of you, it could just be as simple as maybe you were a bit overwhelmed in your career sector, right? But you didn't necessarily want to discuss it with this person, so it might have just been a bit of a burden that you felt like you were carrying on your own at the time. I do have to say, for a small percentage of you as well, it could just be saying that you might have been otherwise involved in the past in a connection that you weren't happy with, and you might have met this person during that time. All right. Past energy on their side, we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. So seeing these two energies here, both pages, feels like it says to me that they probably did want to take the initiative around the connection, and most likely for some of you they did, but at the same time there could have been some nervousness around it. So for example, they might have had this idea of how they wanted to come forward, but then they might have ended up overthinking it quite a bit as far as trying to find just the right words to say and things along those lines. But like I said, for the majority of you, I feel like they probably did come forward eventually anyway, but maybe not the way that they hoped to initially, probably due to some nervousness. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Queen of Arrows. So here it looks like you're in a more open and receptive energy, but at the same time I feel like you're still wanting this person to initiate more of the communication between the two of you. We even see the Venus energy here, which of course you guys are ruled by Venus, but yeah, that's why I get this energy here. We do see a bit of an openness, but if we even look, she's leaning in a little bit, right, and looking in that direction, but then her body's also pointed away. So I feel like this is saying that, like I said, there's more of an openness there, but at the same time, you're open for them to initiate. All right, and the present energy on their side, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could just be saying that they might actually have a heavy focus on their finances at this time as well. But if nothing else, to me, it says two feminine energies coming up in the present, right? It could just be saying that there won't be a lot of movement as far as one side or the other initiating something within the connection. And given that this is Pentacle energy, they might even be a little bit more, well, stubborn is not the word I'm looking for, because I don't think it's like intentionally so, but I feel like they're just going to be even more focused on whatever area they're focused on, probably finances. Whereas at least you with the Arrows energy shows me a little more of a likelihood that you might actually communicate more between the two of you at this time. All right, and future energy on your side, we have the Queen of Staves. So this is actually an Aries energy here, and I feel like this is saying primarily that this would show even more openness on your part in the near future. So, like I said, we start to see that opening a bit more with the Queen of Arrows energy, but like I said, it's not as action-oriented necessarily, and even though this is still a Queen energy, so still a feminine energy, it is more of an action-oriented type of energy. We even see the body language now fully pointed toward the cards on their side. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Moon. So with this deck in particular, the Moon energy definitely looks pretty romantic, right? So I feel like this is saying that they still might struggle a little bit, I feel, when it comes to actually expressing their feelings, but I feel like the feelings will be growing. So I feel like they'll probably make an effort to show you that those feelings are growing. Whether or not it gets translated correctly seems like it could be a little bit up in the air, but I do feel like this is showing that you guys will be progressing in a positive way in the future. All right, and Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Two of Staves, so more Aries energy here. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that you are open to something fresh. So like I said, especially for those of you where maybe, I still don't feel like it's the majority of you, but for some of you, if you were in a connection in the past that you were unhappy with, and then you happen to cross paths with this person in the past, if nothing else, to me, this shows that you will be completely out of that connection from the past and moving forward with this one. But even if it's not that you were involved in something else, like I said, maybe you just had a lot of career stuff going on, something that was just weighing heavily on you, but you weren't open to expressing it. Maybe because you might have felt the connection was too new, right? Like, oh, I don't want to unload this stuff on this person, things along those lines, right? With the Two of Staves energy here, I feel like this is saying that you are ready for a fresh start. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So, if nothing else, Wheel of Fortune represents Jupiter energy, which recently moved back in Aries, and it's actually going to be moving into your sign around the middle of May. So this could even just be saying that by the time we get to mid-May, you might really see the connection growing. You know, I feel like it would be continuous growth, not that you guys are going to ignore each other and then come back together in May, but more of you really start to feel like things are moving forward and that you guys fully have the ball rolling once we get to that time. But yeah, in general, it could just be saying that the timing's improving for you guys to move the connection forward. All right, so next we'll move on to your oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from Aqua Moonlight deck here. I'm going to be looking for unspoken messages from you to them and then from them to you. Initially looking for jumpers, but if I shuffle for a while and anything comes up, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull cards that way. Oh, got one there. And next we'll see what we get from them to you. Almost had one there. Almost had one there again. And got one there. Okay, so let's see what we got on your side first. Okay, we have play. It says, I just want to have fun with you. So yeah, seeing that message there almost makes me think of at least the facial expression for the Queen of Arrows that we see in the present, right? Or like I said, it looks like there's an openness there, but you're still hoping for them to be the ones to initiate, right? So it does have a bit of a playful, bit of a mischievous look as well. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Like I was talking about, as far as more of an openness on your part. And then on their side, we have finances. Okay, it says I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. So yeah, funny enough, I was saying this makes me think of the present card on their side, and we already more or less said that with the Queen of Pentacles on their side in the present, this could definitely, this just basically reiterates what I was initially feeling, which is to say that they could just be focused on their work at this time. So not the worst thing, right? I mean, we have Mercury retrograde at the time we're recording this in the sign of Capricorn, so that could be impacting a lot of people's work lives at this time. So yeah, could just be a timing thing, but it looks like there will be improvement in the future for sure. All right, and lastly, let's see what we get from the Wisdom Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice to wrap the reading up with. All right, got one there. So let's see what you got. Okay, we have Orphaned. There's the artwork, and the number is 5. All right, let's see what it has to say. Okay, the relationship message says, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you, and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to be whole. It won't be worth the price. So interesting. I get a couple different things from that message. For one, for some of you where I mentioned a small percentage of you might have actually been in another connection that you weren't happy with in the past, and then you cross paths with this person whose cards are represented on the right. So for that, I could just be pointing to that. But another thing that I feel as well, this could just be pointing to more of a temporary thing, where like I said, I mean, just look at the contrast of the energies here. I want to just have fun and play with you, right? And then on their side, hey, I'm focused on finances right now. So obviously that's a big clash of energies there, but I don't feel like it's intentional, right? So like I said, I feel like you just might need to give it a little bit of time. And I feel like you'll be able to pick up on if they really are focused on finances or if there's something else. I don't feel like you're going to get any deceptive vibes from this person, but I feel like this is saying that if you do see that they're a bit withdrawn, then it's most likely going to be a temporary thing. I mean, like I said, we see the Wheel of Fortune there, which in a financial sense could point to success for them in that regard. And then with the moon energy, I do feel like that's pointing to emotional connection. All right, so whatever resonated for you guys, we'll wrap up there. I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.